you guys, welcome back to High Priestess Transmissions. My name is Nikki. I am a witch, psychic medium, healer, and initiated High Priestess. And I wanted to kind of introduce myself to y'all if you're new here, talk about me, my practice, my body of work, and how I run things and my offerings. Just to kind of let y'all know what my messaging is about, what my mission is, what I'm here for, and what I like to do. And also, if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much for your support. I love you. My day ones, my OGs, I appreciate you more than you know. You keep me going a lot of the time. But I wanted to talk to y'all about some shifts and changes I'll be making in my business, because I am in a period of growth on a soul level, okay? And I think this is because of the fire horse year, and also because I'm in my Saturn return. I do have Saturn in Aries, and Aries season, especially because I have Saturn in Aries, has like amplified this times 1,000. And my spirit is just growing very rapidly, and that's not me being cocky by any means. It just is what it is. And you can do the same thing if you use this energy of the fire horse here correctly, especially when it's a fire sign season. So Aries, Leo, or Sag, those 3 months of the year will be especially helpful if you can navigate the energy without burning out, right? Excuse me. So I guess I'll tell y'all a little bit about me. My name is Nikki. I am 28. I'll be 29 in July. I'm a Cancer. I'm a Cancer Sun, Capricorn Moon. I do have a lot of water energy. That's where my business name comes from. Siren, mermaids. I love the ocean. I love the river. And I have a lot of water spirits that walk with me. And I connect very well with the water. My water magic is very powerful. But also, I have a lot of fire that I'm just now tapping into. And the fire side of me is coming out very rapidly, which makes sense, right? Because fire is pretty fast. And expanding my business is very important to me, because as I grow as an individual, so does my work. I believe it was Jamie S-E-A, I think is how you spell her last name. I love her. She's an amazing entrepreneur, super successful businesswoman. And she has a quote that she says that's basically, running your own business is inner work and personal development on crack. And I couldn't agree more. Okay? It will highlight all of your trauma, all of your wounds, your fears, your shadows, your insecurities, your blocks. Like, it will shine a flashlight on those things. And my business is my most sacred body of work. This is how my soul is carrying out its mission, one of its missions, right? And the way that I do that is, first, I am an initiated High Priestess in Palo. I'm a Yaya. I've been a Yaya for almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years next month, actually. And it's been a journey. And we're just getting started. That's the crazy part. I love Palo. I love my godparents. I'm thankful to be a Yaya. I'm thankful to be a part of the Munanzo that I'm in. I have the best, most amazing, most loving godparents in the whole world, who I can honestly say run things the right way. Not just keeping the integrity of Palo as a tradition, but also from an energetic standpoint, they are very big on balance and boundaries and self-care and practicing Palo in the way that it's meant to be practiced, which is ultimately to help our souls grow, right? Yes, it's about protection, and sometimes, if necessary and justified, throwing some dark work It's also about healing. And it's very easy for other practitioners to get into palo and take the energies of it and run amok. But my godparents are amazing, and I can't say enough good things about them. With that said, obviously, I'm not an elder. But I'm kind of like medium level, right? And then I also practice espiritismo. I've been an espiritista for 7 years. And I love espiritismo. I love my spiritual court. My ancestors and my spirit guides mean the world to me. Y'all know I do a lot of work with my Gitana spirit guide, which is actually my great-grandmother. And she channels through me a lot when it comes to my work. Whether it's a podcast or a course or something, I am her vessel. And also, I practice Greek Romani folk magic, which essentially is Greek gypsy magic, because of my dad's lineage. And I love my gypsy magic. It's very simple because it uses materials that for the most part are pretty accessible, but it's very effective. And when done the right way, with the right energies, it's very difficult to break. So I like using it. And all the wisdom from that practice comes from my ancestors. Not a book. I might Google things here and there, like if they whisper in my ear to use a certain herb that I've never heard of, I'll Google it. Or if I need to refresh my brain on the properties of that herb, I'll Google it, right? But 99% of it, straight from spirit. So those are my 3 main practices. I don't mix them. I do my best not to. Obviously, with the espiritismo and Romani folk magic, there's a little bit of overlap, just because my Gitana works with me at my Bovina, but also if I want to do a ritual with her using her magic, her practice, she's going to help with that too, right? But I have the standard Bovina, I do the prayers and all that. I know that when you go to my website and you see all my different offerings, you're probably like, oh my god, where do I start? Because I don't just do readings. I make spiritual baths, I make amulets, I have courses. I only have 1 right now, more are coming. Trust and believe. I do mentorship, healing work, spell work, and I have ADHD. I've said that many times, so that's kind of where, the ADHD comes in. I do a lot of different stuff, but I can honestly tell you, I do all those different things very well. And these are things that I do for myself on a daily basis. I do my inner work. I damn sure do rituals for myself. I do readings for myself. And I teach myself. I learn. I love learning. I'm a big researcher. I love learning new things. I don't like getting stuck. But these are things that I do anyway as part of my own personal life. So I'm like, why not make a career out of it, right? But if you're looking at all my different offerings and 1 or 2 is kind of pulling to you, but you don't know which one to pick or you don't know what you need at all, just start with the reading. Okay, I do offer a few different types of readings because I'm a medium. I talk to dead people. It is what it is. So I do have a mediumship reading for your deceased loved ones where I talk to them and I see how they're feeling, how they're adjusting on the other side, and any messages that they have for you. And then if you have questions for them, I do my absolute best to answer them. Okay, but there are some other options on there. A spiritual court reading, if you want to learn how to set up a bovada, or you want to know if you have a Gitana or a Madama or anything like that, book a spiritual court reading. And if you're not sure what to pick, just get the general reading. And I'll guide you from there. That's why on my website it says bookings start here, because that's the easiest. Okay. And then we'll figure out what you need. And I'm going to tell y'all, why I started expanding my offerings and why I started coming out with more services and stuff. It's not random. It's because for the first 5 years of my business, for the most part, yeah, I did products and stuff, but the bulk of my focus was doing readings and doing spiritual work or spell work for people. And then I noticed a pattern. What was happening was I would do the spell for my client, the blessing would manifest, or the situation would turn around for the better. The outcome would manifest, right? And within weeks or months, one of two things was happening. Number one, they would self-sabotage. Or number two, maybe they were under psychic attack and didn't know how to cleanse and protect themselves, and so they would lose that blessing. You know, and don't get me wrong, when I do spell work, it has, especially when we're trying to manifest a blessing, I do put a lot of protection into that working to protect it. But it's not bulletproof. That's only one shabaho. You still need to be cleansing yourself on a regular basis and protecting yourself. So for the self-sabotaging issue, that's when the healing containers came out. So that you can do your inner work and release those patterns and rebuild your self-worth and your sense of self and stop self-sabotaging. So you can actually hold your manifestation. Right? Because I love helping y'all manifest. I love doing spell work for y'all. But I'm not a money-hungry, greedy, low-level practitioner that wants to stay in that cycle of you come to me, purchase the spell work, I do it, it manifests, everything's good for a few weeks or months, and then shit falls apart. And then you gotta come back and repeat. I'm not like that. Okay? I would rather teach you how to cleanse and protect yourself and empower you and give you knowledge, or help you heal, or both, depending on what you're needing, so that you guys can hold your blessings. Because that's what matters. Because manifesting is fun, right? But when you keep manifesting the thing and then losing it, manifesting the thing and then losing it, one of two things is happening. Number one, or both. You're self-sabotaging because you haven't healed. Or number two, you're under psychic attack. Or there's negative vibrations around you that you're not removing. Or warning away properly. Right? And honestly, the perfect setup is to do both. Like, I have one or two clients right now that are they're in both containers. They're in the healing container and they're in the mentorship. So they're healing and they're learning magic and spiritual work. And they're learning how to cleanse and protect themselves. And it might seem overwhelming, the idea of it, but it actually flows very well together, because when you're healing, you need to be cleansing yourself. You need to be protecting yourself. Because doing your inner work and facing your trauma and that pain is hard enough. You add in psychic attack or other people's evil eye or other negative energies around you, makes it 10 times harder. You know? So, and then on the flip side of things, if you're wanting to learn magic, but you know you need a little bit of healing work, that's also important, because I see so many practitioners, both beginner level and so-called elders, that have 20, 30, 40 years of sorcery under their belt and are self-proclaimed master sorcerers and practitioners, but they don't have stability in their blessings and their manifestations. You know? Or their lives are very chaotic. And they're stuck in these loops. So, if you want to have the most effective magic, I truly believe that inner work is required. You know? And then for the spell work, doing spiritual work for y'all, like, that's still one of my favorite things to do. I love helping you guys. I do basically any type of spell work. I do try to stay on the good, more positive or protective side of things. But I do have a little bit of Endoki in me, a little bit of shadow. So if you have been severely harmed, like maybe you've dealt with SA or abuse, or someone stole a lot of money from you, or harmed you or your loved ones in some way, and it's justified to throw work, I will do it for you. If my spirit's saying yes, and if I agree to it. Okay? So I do a lot of different stuff, depending on what you need. And I promise, like, I know I'm kind of a mad scientist, but it works. Because I combine inner work and personal development, spiritual healing, nervous system regulation, which is very important, spell work, so that you have energetic support, divination, so that we can talk to spirit, and I also teach you, depending on what you need. You know? But whether you just want one service from me or you want all of them, I've realized that I'm done trying to be for everyone. Yes, of course I want to help as many people, especially women, as possible. That's always been the goal. But my ideal client is someone similar to me. As far as, like, having drive and motivation, and bottom line, being willing to do the work. Whether it's inner work, whether it's magic and doing a spiritual practice, whether it's, you know, learning, whatever. Like, I want clients that are serious about their lives and their journey. And that want to work on themselves and be better and have good, amazing lives. I get it, we all go through shit, you know, and I try to have compassion. But there's only so many excuses that I can accept. And I can't do the work for you. And I'm going to have a variety of offerings for y'all. Like I said, I only have one course out right now. More are coming. They will be a variety of prices. And then my containers are my higher ticket work, because that's 101. Those containers, the 8-week healing container and the 12-week mentorship one, both are one-on-one work with me, and I pour a lot into them because they're catered specifically to you and your path, and everything is spirit-led. And I love doing the work. It's fulfilling to me, and I know it works. It makes a difference. But it still does take a lot out of me energetically. So, spots for that are limited. And they are going to be limited. You know? But I like to say that I have something for everyone, but the truth is I don't want to be for everyone. I want to be for the woman that is willing to do the work. Because this whole soft life trope has y'all fucked up. Pardon my language. But it's a dangerous trap. It's misogyny and oppression dressed up with a pink bow on it. And I understand why a lot of women want the soft life. Because we're burnt the fuck out. But you need the name of the game right now to find a balance between being oppressed and underneath a man and only having the soft life if a man gives it to you. That's one end of the spectrum. And then the other end is being burnt the fuck out. You need to find the happy medium. A way that you still have your independence while not being burnt out and while not being under a man. I love provider men. I believe the masculine should provide. I do. 100%. But I also think that women, just common sense, should have their own money. And this soft life trope has a lot of women, like, in a state of energetic collapse. Like, they just don't want to try anymore. They just want to hand all their responsibilities and problems to a man, and I don't agree with that. You know? Because God forbid if something happens, you're screwed. And that's just one example of how the soft life fucks you up. And for some women, that might be enough where they just lay in bed all day and don't do shit and everything's done for them. If that's what your soul chose, great. But for the women that I'm speaking to, like me, our souls did not sign up for that. Your soul came here to get shit done. To help the planet. And grow. That was a long tangent. Oh well. Yeah, like I want to help women that are willing to put the effort in. And clients in general, male or female, but my focus is mostly towards women. I do accept male clients, okay, for readings, spell work, healing, mentorship, whatever. But just being honest with y'all, my mission is more to help women. And at this time. Okay. More courses are coming. I literally have an entire document of course ideas. It is so juicy. I cannot wait. But one thing at a time. But yeah, just everything can start with a reading with me. But if your heart is set on something on my website, by all means, go for it. The readings are just there to give you direction if you need it. But I will put the links in the description for my booking information, my mentorship, my healing container, and my course. Okay? I love you all so much. Many blessings to you. Thank you. Bye.